Jesus, every single day it seems I have David Hasselhoff hair now. Hello, Jacksonites, and welcome to part 4 of my Jurassic Park franchise review. And oh boy, do we have a good movie today. Today, I will be discussing, in my opinion, one of the greatest sequels/reboots I have ever seen in my entire life. And is, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies made not only of just the past decade, but of the past century. In my opinion, this movie is so good. Today, I'll be discussing 2015's Jurassic World. Joining me today, of course, if you read the title already, is Jackie Boy from BigJackFilms. Say hello.
Oh man, I fucking love this sequel. This is a damn good sequel, and I'll explain why when we get to our history with it.
Which I'm going to jump into right now. So Jurassic World, I kind of have actually a bit of an interesting history with Jurassic World, honestly, because of course I remember the hype. Oh my God, do I remember the hype. I'd actually go as far to say, in all of 2015, Jurassic World was the movie that everybody was looking forward to the most.
Well, that or Star Wars The Force Awakens. Came out the same year.
Yeah.
Those were the two most hyped movies of Those were actually the two highest grossing films of 2015.
Rightfully so. Okay, so this movie is probably tied with Force Awakens as the most hyped movie of 2015 for good reason. So I remember the hype. Everybody was dying to see this movie. Absolutely.
Especially me.
And actually, I wasn't interested.
Really?
I actually was not interested in seeing Jurassic World, mainly because I was afraid I wouldn't like it. I avoided watching. I didn't see it in theaters. Then again, I haven't seen any Herald of what?
Oh, that's Thomas.
Oh, okay. Hi, Thomas. So I haven't seen any of the Jurassic Park movies in theaters. I wish I could have. But I really wasn't interested in seeing Jurassic World, and I didn't actually see it until well into 2016, I think. Because I avoided it for so long. I was so afraid it was going to suck. And even when I finally bought it on DVD, of course, I waited 4 months to finally watch it. Man, I wish I didn't.
Yeah, my history with it is very interesting because after, for me, the complete shipwreck of Jurassic Park 3, well, I mean, I haven't even admit, but looking back on it, maybe I was a little too harsh on my review. I mean, I still like the movie, but there's parts about it that fucks up the lore for me that really pissed me off. Because Jurassic Park 3, I actually, when I was 10 years old, or actually, no, 9 years old, it was the first movie I ever walked out on. Because once they killed the T-Rex, I was like, I'm gone. Right? And I waited till home video to watch it. So, in between then and Jurassic World 2015, the hype killed me. Because I remember they had, immediately after 3, even though 3 was a mediocre box office and got terrible reviews, they were already greenlighting a 4th one as far as 2002. I remember seeing some minor little magazine articles about it, updating it. And at the time, the internet was starting to become a thing. There was stories on that. And, like, the hype, or no, just the anticipation waiting to hear any news of its development. Like, this is one of those movies that went through a huge amount of development hell.
We're not going to get into that to end this
I won't get into that, but to the point is that it was kind of like how James was waiting for Turtles 3, where I would have dreams of going to see the movie or seeing a preview, and then waking up and being all pissed off that wasn't real. So to quote him, the wait was fucking killing me. And when Spielberg finally announced it was going to happen at Comic-Con back, I think, in 2012, 2013, I was interested, but I heard him say all that before, so I was really, when it comes to a movie that's in
right. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I'll know what's happening when they start production, when we see the cameras rolling. So finally seeing them start shooting, I was like, oh my god, finally! The trailer was super, the trailer was like, I had almost a mild heart attack seeing the trailer, because it was something I had dreamed and waited for years. And this is one of those movies that is a rare instance where it lives up to the hype.
100%.
Exponentially. It lives up to the hype immensely.
Mm-hmm.
So I think out of all the sequels, this is one of the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of on par with me with Lost World. But, Lost World's a great follow-up to Jurassic Park. But Jurassic World had some really great epic moments that are just it's been a long time coming for that. So, but we'll get to that with the plot.
So the plot for Jurassic World is actually kind of simple, but that may be considered to be one of my minor issues with the movie. A lot of stuff happens, but the plot itself is fairly simple. So teenage brothers Zach and Gray Mitchell visit Jurassic World, a dinosaur theme park at the original Jurassic Park site on Isla Nublar, of which their aunt, Claire Deering, played by
Bryce Dallas Howard, who honestly, looking as I actually find kind of hot.
She's pretty. Bryce Dallas Howard is the operations manager. Claire assigns her assistant, who's a total cunt, as the boys' guide, but they evade her and they explore the park on their own. Elsewhere on the island, U.S. Navy veteran and what the hell is that? An ethologist?
Whatever, Owen Grady.
Oh, he's a study of animal behavior. Owen Grady, played by the glorious Chris Pratt. Oh my god. Actually, I think it was this movie.
By the way, they had casted him before Guardians of the Galaxy was a hit, so they had just cast just a mildly good actor. But then when Guardians of the Galaxy that year they were filming was a huge hit, they kind of realized how much they lucked out on getting a big star for this movie.
I actually think this was the movie that made me a Chris Pratt fan, even though obviously Guardians of the Galaxy came out first in 2014. I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy till mid-2015, so I saw both of these movies around the same time. So Owen Grady has been training 4 velociraptors and training their intelligence. Based on the raptor's ability to follow command, Vic Hoskins, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, which I think is the first movie that I've reviewed to have Vincent D'Onofrio in, who
will train those raptors.
Who is the head of InGen Security, believes the animals can be weaponized, an idea Owen and his assistant Barry strongly oppose for obvious reasons. What?
You know what I like to think about Vincent D'Onofrio's character? He was the kid back in the 90s who didn't play with the Jurassic Park figures. He ended up getting secondhand Dino Rider figures.
Mm.
So he was like, I'm going to make it Dino Riders!
Prior to its opening, Claire and park owner Simon Masrani, who played by Irfan Khan, he's Indian. They're kind of sorry if I butchered that name, but I'm not good with Indian names.
Slumdog Billionaire.
The two inspect the park's newest attraction, a genetically engineered dinosaur named the Indominus Rex, which is such a badass name. Oh my god, it's such a badass name.
Rex, I think.
Huh?
I think the original name was the Diabolus Rex.
Yeah, it was. Created by geneticist Dr. Henry Wu, who is played by B.D. Wong, who is the only actor to reprise his role from previous Jurassic Park movies.
Although, to be fair, there is a Jeff Goldblum cameo in a book.
Oh. Anyway, so Masrani tasks Owen with evaluating the enclosure. However, Owen warns Claire the Indominus lacks social skills, which makes it incredibly dangerous and incredibly unpredictable. It's explained that there is
this dinosaur has autism.
It's explained in the movie that there was originally 2 Indos, but this being a female, the female killed the male not long after they were born. When it appears the Indominus has escaped its enclosure, Owen and 2 park workers enter the enclosure. However, the Indominus Rex, which can camouflage itself and even mask its heat signature, somehow, suddenly appears. Owen survives the attack, but the Indominus kills the other 2 men before escaping into the island's interior. Owen tells Masrani to have the Indominus killed to protect the company's investment. However, Masrani dispatches a specialized unit to subdue it with non-lethal weaponry. And this unit is utterly slaughtered by the Indominus Rex. And after this happens, Claire orders the evacuation of the island's northern sector, while the Indominus Rex goes on a massive rampage. While exploring the park in a vehicle, I think it's called a gyrosphere, which is a really cool little thing, Zack and Gray enter a restricted area. The Indominus arrives and destroys the vehicle, but the boys escape. They find the ruins of the original Jurassic Park facility, and they repair an old Jeep Wrangler after a really tense scene where the Indominus stalks them throughout the garage.
Apparently there's a deleted scene that's never been released of the 2 kids being chased by a pack of wild spitters.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
So they repair the Jeep, and they drive back to the park resort. As Claire and Owen search for the boys, they barely escape the Indominus Rex themselves. Masrani and 2 troopers hunt the Indominus by helicopter, but it breaks into the park's aviary, releasing pterosaurs, pteranodon, and dimorphodon species, which collide with the helicopter Indiana Jones 3 style, and they cause it to crash.
No, I think it was actually more based on the original ending for The Lost World. They just recycled abandoned concepts, which I like with films nowadays. They'll take abandoned concepts and put them into films now.
Gray and Zack find Owen and Claire at the resort as armed personnel shoot down swarming pterosaurs with tranquilizers. In assuming command, Hoskins orders that the raptors be used to track the Indominus. Owen, who is being forced to comply, then leads the raptors finding the Indominus. They find the Indominus, and the animals begin communicating among themselves. And Owen realizes then that the Indominus Rex has Velociraptor DNA in it, and it becomes the pack's new alpha, usurping Owen's dominance. Troops fire on the Indominus, but it escapes. The raptors kill most of the troops, but 1 raptor is killed in the process. Hoskins evacuates Wu and the dinosaur embryos from the island to protect Wu's research. Owen, Claire, and the boys find Hoskins at the lab, but a raptor breaks in, Blue, and kills him. Probably the most brutal death in the entire movie. Debatable, though, because the kills in this movie are pretty damn cruel.
Yeah.
Owen reestablishes his bond with the 3 raptors before the Indominus Rex appears. They attack the Indominus, but 2 are killed. So then Claire decides to release the park's Tyrannosaurus Rex, the original
Which
T-Rex.
is the original Rexy. Original from the first one.
Yep, named Rexy, and lures it into a battle with the Indominus, who at first gains the advantage until the surviving raptor joins the fight. Overwhelmed, the Indominus is cornered at a lagoon's edge, where it is dragged underwater by a mosasaur.
Deep Blue Sea style.
Yep. The survivors are evacuated, and the island is abandoned once again. Zack and Gray are reunited with their parents, and Owen and Claire decide to start bumping uglies, thus ending the movie. So how about this plot, Jackie boy?
I love it. I'll go into this in a few of my cons, but like the only thing I feel like the story is really solid. I mean, it's obviously a soft reboot. It is kind of a reset. even though it is a sequel, like it is Jurassic Park 4. You know, like it's still like Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 are still canon, even though this and Fallen Kingdom never mentioned Isla Sorna for some reason. But yeah, I think the plot is pretty solid. I do like how we finally, like, there is an idea to do hybrid dinosaurs now because of the genetic science have been now more advanced with technology. And the whole hybrid thing has been a concept floating around the fourth installment in its development hell. To the point where they actually wanted to do human dino hybrids, which I still think, if done right, could be well received and interesting. But yeah, it has a great dinosaur villain. I love the whole thing how, like, with the raptors, it essentially becomes Rocky 3, where the enemy of the human race, the enemies of our heroes actually ally themselves with the humans, which I think is pretty cool. So, you know, the classic enemies become friends. And the fucking climax is just so goddamn awesome. Especially after the puss-out defeat of the T-Rex in the third one, this made up for it. And there's a part of me that still wishes that the Indominus Rex was the Spinosaur. Although, to be fair, I think it's been confirmed that the Spinosaur that was in the third one was actually the skeleton that was displayed in Jurassic World. And when the T-Rex crashes it was a big fuck you to that animal.
Interesting. I just learned that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to save my thoughts on the movie's plot when I get to one of my pros. So I'm just going to jump right into my pros, of which I have... Wait, no, I didn't get to the bottom.
I mean, I have a lot of pros, but there's not enough time to fill it out. But, like,
I have 8 pros.
On the pros, and I'll do the cons.
I have 8 pros.
Okay.
First, pro number 1 is this movie has a great cast.
Yeah, great fucking cast.
Is it as good as the first movie? Not quite, but it is very close. Very, very close.
Cast members from the first one? Yes.
So, first, the obvious one, Chris Pratt as Owen Grady. Chris Pratt. First off, I would so love to hang out with Chris Pratt. He looks like the coolest dude.
He is a really nice guy in person, from what I heard. I mean, I know I think he is Christian or something, but he's kind of like Doug the Bounty Hunter, where he's like, you know, he doesn't use it as an excuse, but he's just a nice guy. He just tries to be nice to everybody. And I love that with Chris Pratt. His character is fantastic. Just badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what this movie should have been called? Star-Lord and the Raptor Squad. That could be the name of a comic book, for God's sakes. Can you imagine, like, the theme song for the cartoon? Star-Lord and the Raptor Squad! Be amazing. Fuck yeah. I mean, anime, actually.
So Chris Pratt's character, Owen Grady, I love this guy. He is a badass. He is clearly very intelligent. Well, yeah, he's pretty intelligent. He's kind of both our Ian Malcolm and Dr. Well, not quite our Dr. Grant. He's kind of our Dr. Grant for this movie. With just
anti-Dr. Grant.
Okay, yeah, anti-Dr. Grant. Mostly Ian Malcolm, and also a little bit of Robert Muldoon from the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah, like, something I would always like to see in one of the later movies is that if they brought Sam Neill back, I would love to see him and Owen have conflicting opinions on the Raptors. So, like, Grant's like, the Raptors are our enemies, and Chris Pratt's like, no, the Raptors are cool. Let me show you. Let me prove it to you.
Yeah,
you know, I think that would be an interesting bit of conflict, especially for the 6th film.
Yep. And Chris Pratt does a fantastic job portraying Owen Grady. It's not really that playful. Okay, it's kind of that playful attitude that he has in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it still feels different. And so I do like that Chris Pratt wasn't just completely channeling Star-Lord into his performance in this movie. The two characters do feel completely different, which I do like. Call me crazy, but I think I like Chris Pratt better in this movie than I do in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, no shit, because in this one he doesn't fuck up.
So yeah, Chris Pratt is awesome. Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire. The first half, I actually kind of can't stand her because she's just that awkward.
She's persistent.
Well, not just that, but she's the awkward. I don't really like kids. I just want to do my job, and I want to stay away from annoying, pesky, smelly children. But I grew to like her, especially when she and Owen were out in the woods looking for the Indominus, and also the two nephews. When Owen said to her, "You're not even dressed to go out in the woods," so she just kind of puts her hair back and she fixes her clothes up a little bit. I am now. Love that. That's when she.
The scene that had me turn around is when they come across the Apatosaurus herd that's been completely slaughtered, and you have that one scene. And what makes it work is the fact that it is the only scene that involves an animatronic, like the previous films, but it's done to great effect.
Mm-hmm. That was a turnaround point for me too, but it was really solidified beforehand when she said, "I am now, and I'm going out there." Attitude. So I also think it's kind of funny. Just the way that she looks at him and the way that she talks to him. I just thought that was a really good moment for her. And throughout the rest of the movie, I did grow to like her a lot more. Call Me Nuts also, I think she is slightly better in Fallen Kingdom.
I can agree a little bit on
the awkwardness is gone.
One of the compliments I'll give a Fallen Kingdom.
All the awkwardness is gone in Fallen Kingdom. But we'll talk about that when I get to Fallen Kingdom. Oh boy. But overall, I like her character. She's a good female lead. Not quite as good as Julianne Moore from Lost World, but she's pretty close. She's certainly better than the Amanda from Jurassic Park 3.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't there for your Jurassic Park 3 review, but I did want to point out is like when I said in Lost World that Julianne Moore is not really that hot. I mean, as much as Taylor Leone is completely annoying in that film, God, she looked fucking good in that. She looked hot.
Vincent D'Onofrio as Vic Hoskins. I'll admit, Vincent D'Onofrio is not exactly one of my favorite actors.
Cartoon. He's a cartoon.
He's a little bit of a cartoon villain in this movie. That being said, though, he still does a good job with the performance. And I've noticed he's been in a lot more movies nowadays.
I just want to point out his performance honestly reminds me is on par with like Don Rickles' Mr. Potato Head.
I wouldn't say that, but I've noticed though Vincent D'Onofrio has been in a lot of movies in the last few years. He was in this. He was in Chips 2017. He was in Rings. He was in
Daredevil. He was Pinhead. Or no, the Kingpin. In Daredevil.
Yeah, he was Kingpin. And he was also in the 2018 Death Wish, which I thought he was really good in that movie. Oh yeah, I thought he was really good in that movie.
Yeah. Do you feel like though, like since this movie, he's been playing mostly he's been typecast as a villain?
No, because he wasn't a villain in Death Wish.
Who's the guy? Just very quickly off subject. Who's the guy who plays Director Krennic in Rogue One?
Not Vincent D'Onofrio.
Well, I feel bad for him because he was just in Robin Hood, and I feel like he's just going to be typecast as a villain all the time, which is a real shame.
So not much to say about Vincent D'Onofrio's character, other than he does play the character fairly well. There are a couple moments where he comes off really cartoony, but he's all right. The rest of the cast is fine, I guess. Ty Simpson and Nick Robinson. Okay, Nick Robinson as Zach. This is the older one.
He looks like one of the guys from Smosh.
He's a little dick.
Oh, he's a dick, yeah.
He is a complete little dick.
He'd be a great Robin.
We're not talking about superheroes right now, damn it.
I know.
But
the kids are fine. But but kids are always good in these movies, honestly. No, honestly, all the kids in all the Jurassic Park movies are honestly good kid
The
actors.
clone is pretty wooden.
Which one?
The clone is pretty wooden.
Well, she tried.
Anyway, so let's see, what was the kid's name? Oh yeah, Nick Robinson. He's a little dick.
Yeah, well, think about it. He's only after pussy.
Exactly. That's what I think makes him a little dick. He has a relationship at home, but once he gets to Jurassic Park, all he's doing is just checking out the chicks. There is one scene that just made me die of laughter. It was the scene where they're about to go on the gyrosphere, where the older kid's just staring at the girls. The younger one says, you can keep staring at them, but they're not going to notice you if you just keep staring at them, or something along those lines. And I was dying laughing because he totally got put in his place. Well, I do
feel like at some point down in the film is that he does turn around and really help his little brother out.
Yes, like I said, at the beginning of the movie, I can't stand him because he's a little dick. But I think it's when they repair the Jeep when he turns around for me. When he becomes a good character. His little brother, he's not bad acted and he's not annoying, but he is pretty useless.
I think they were implying that this kid had autism.
Maybe.
They did kind of like make it imply that he was on the spectrum, which, you know what? I'm okay with that, especially with his knowledge of dinosaurs and the fact that he's like super excited and everything. See a lot of kids, because having worked with kids like that, I see how they are, and they are like that. So I see a lot of that in him. And credit has to be given to those kids. They actually really looked like they were having fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everybody on the movie looked like they were just having fun.
So other than that, the rest of the cast is serviceable, I guess. They're not bad. They're not especially much to write home about, but overall this movie has a pretty good cast. Pro number 3 is that this movie has a pretty good music score, if I say so myself.
That will be provided by the great Michael Galancio, I think, or Galancio. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
I think it's Italian.
I do like how they did bring somebody who has had a history with the franchise to do the score other than John Williams, because Michael did the score for the Lost World game on the PS1. So he was that was one of his earliest successes. So I will give them credit for finding somebody who actually has a history with the franchise. And when they bring out the main themes, they bring out and it's nice. Like the whole
it just warms your heart.
Yeah, it's great. My only problem is that they should have used the second theme a bit more. Bum 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 bum.
A little bit, yeah, I do agree. But still, when it's there in the scene that they use it in, it's awesome.
The one I like is whenever they play the first 4 notes of the main theme, and especially like when you arrive on the island and then when they find the old visitor center, when it goes bum 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 bum, and then that's when you realize, when I heard that, that's when I was like, okay, we're in a Jurassic Park movie. I'm like, because I remember hearing that in the screen, I had chills because I was just like, I was taken right back to watching them back in the day. I was like, holy shit, we're watching a new Jurassic Park movie. It was great. And I think that was probably one of my favorite moments going to a midnight screening of a film. Just the energy. I remember the energy was electric for that opening night.
So, yeah, not much to say about this movie's score. It has a couple moments where it sounds a little generic. But still, overall, I mean, it is better than Jurassic Park 3's score.
No, I still like the third movie's score. I mean, it's kind of difficult, but
it's less generic.
The score was actually pretty good. Yeah, Although the one part I loved the most that Michael brought back was when the Raptor comes to save Rexy and they play the Lost World theme.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was good. That was a good call. Mm-hmm. Because, like, and that's one of the things I missed about Fallen Kingdom was where the fuck is the Lost World score? Although you could make the argument that the Lost World score is more meant for Isla Sorna than it is for Nublar. But I do like how they added that in. That was needed to get people going, yes! Yes!
Okay, so pro number 3 is that this movie is a great soft reboot. 2015 seemed to be the year for really good soft, or I don't know. I think it more introduced the idea of having soft reboots. And actually, if you ask me, I think Jurassic World did it better than Force Awakens. Not by much.
Yeah, I can kind of agree on that.
Not by much, mind you. Because I really like the way Force Awakens does it. I say Jurassic World does it better because Force Awakens doesn't crap on already existing EU lore. There wasn't much expanded universe stuff for Jurassic World. I mean, there is a little bit, but it's eclipsed by Star Wars.
Because there were a few comics and stuff that take place after the third film. There were a couple books written, but nothing really that like fucked it up. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like after Jurassic Park 3, the franchise did die for a bit, and that because there was very rarely any kind of material or any like new stuff that was coming out. The last kind of straw that broke the camel's back was there was a few reissued toys that Hasbro put out, and the last known real toy set that came out was around 2010, 2012 with the Allosaurus and Pachyrhinosaurus figures, and then after that we didn't see anything for a couple of years. So I did like how this kind of like, hey, we're back, guys. We took a look. It's kind of like this reboot is kind of like Godzilla, where they didn't know what I mean by that is like it's kind of like the show at the end of the show era where they gave them a bit of a 10-year rest, and then they decided let's bring it back. Let's do a new one. I don't mind that with sequels, is that if they take a 10-year break and then decide let's do it now. Let's wait a couple of years and then do another one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do like this movie's plot. I would say it's definitely more of a sequel than a soft reboot. But what I like about this movie's plot is that it's a very, very solid blending of being both a sequel and a soft reboot. And what I mean by saying it's a soft reboot is it doesn't necessarily like tell a completely new story. Well, kind of. It tells a new story with an already established story.
With an established lore.
And it also reintroduces this movie's universe to new audiences, which I do like that. When it can be done improperly to make your audiences feel like they're idiots, but in this case, it was welcomed because there's a 14-year gap between Jurassic Park 3 and this movie. This is one thing I'll also commend Force Awakens for doing as well. Though there, I think, in its own way, I think it does.
Years after Jedi.
Yeah, there's a 30-year gap, 32 years to be exact. So in that way, I think Force Awakens does it better than Jurassic World, but still, 14 years is a long time.
Yeah, which is interesting too, and it's something I did want to bring up in my con, so I figured I'll just bring it up now. Is my only complaint with the film is that I wish there was a bit more back history of the gap between 3 and 4, only because there are so many questions, especially after the third one, of what happened to certain things, like what happened to Sorna, what happened to the pteranodons that flew away at the end of the third movie, like that. But they, thankfully, in a couple of websites, they do explain what happened. Apparently, the pteranodons had been recaptured and replaced back on Sorna. But funny enough, apparently what happened was right after Isla Sorna, or in between that time, the reason we didn't see Nublar in Lost World or 3 is because they were already re-rating the island and rebuilding it, resetting it from scratch. And I think it was done right after the Lost World. Is that they had gone back to the island, recaptured the dinosaurs, and then some of the dinosaurs they had on Sorna they put on Nublar, and basically reopened Jurassic World in 2005. And that's why, because apparently they do establish that the park had been in business for 10 years.
It definitely feels that way. I don't know about 10 years, but it definitely does feel like this park has been...
No, it was established that the park was in business for 10 years.
Oh, okay, then. It definitely feels that way because... And there's a line of dialogue that also says something, too, that I find a little interesting, is that by now, dinosaurs are mainstream. No one is, like, jumping 30,000 feet in the air and saying, oh, my God, dinosaurs! Now they're saying, yeah, dinosaurs, cool.
No more holy fucking shit. It's a
dinosaur. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Now it's just, oh my fucking God. Oh, a dinosaur. I have seen this shit before. I'm gonna play on my phone and play Candy Crush. Who gives a shit? Let me take a sec. No one gives a shit about dinosaurs. I'm gonna go on Instagram. Holy fucking shit. Snooki just fucked Rob. Oh my God. Post this shit on Twitter. That's what it is now. It's just like nobody gives a shit about dinosaurs. Bullshit.
Bullshit, yes.
Bullshit. Well, I get it because of the established lore of the fact that dinosaurs exist, but still, man. If I had to, imagine, the prices going to Jurassic Park, Jurassic World must be fucking expensive. So, you can see dinosaurs on news documents and everything, but especially after the San Diego incident. But the problem is, you still gotta pay probably big money to go see a fucking real dinosaur. So I would still be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, and one thing I do like, too, is the title. Only because it's kind of a nice market. It is a cool, interesting marketing bit, because it's the reason that I think they called it Jurassic World is because Jurassic Park was like Disneyland in California, whereas Jurassic World is like Disney World in Florida. And that kind of makes sense. And it was funny because I remember when they announced the sequel, I was going to be like, what are they going to call it? The Lost Park Jurassic World? Get it? Because the Lost World Jurassic Park? Holy fucking shit. Kanye's beating up Drake. I don't give a fuck about this dinosaur. Oh my God. Hashtag I don't care.
I'm going to put you on mute if you don't stop.
Okay.
So yeah, I like this movie's plot. It's a great soft reboot. It's a great sequel. Overall, great plot. So let's see. 2, 3. Pro number 4 is that this movie's once again, the dinosaurs in this movie are freaking awesome. We're gonna save the Indominus Rex for a little later, so zip the lip regarding that creature. But overall, the dinosaurs are really cool in this movie. We see a lot of returning dinosaurs from previous movies, literally and figuratively. See stegosaurs. I think we see a brachiosaur in this movie.
No brachiosaurs in this one. We get the apatosaurs.
The apatosaurs
are... the Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Apatosaurus, Ankylosaurus.
Obviously, the Velociraptors.
Velociraptors, Rex, of course. Pteranodons. Dimorphodons.
The Mosasaur. Oh, my God, the Mosasaur.
Oh, that blew my mind in the fucking trailer, because, I think that's another thing I do like about each sequel, is that they always bring in the next step of what people want to see with dinosaurs. Like, with Lost World, everybody wanted the Stegosaurus. with Jurassic Park 3, everybody wanted the flying dinosaurs. And now with Jurassic World, we get into the water dinosaurs, which I'm like, yes,
I'm going to say this. I would have a goddamn heart attack the minute that those seats descended down so we could look into the mosasaur tank. I would have shit my fucking pants doing that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's actually one of the reasons I can't do things like SeaWorld or Marineland, because I cannot. Well, one, I'm actually against those parks because of the way they treat the whales. But even going, because it's interesting because in SeaWorld and Marineland, they have a lower area where you can go and look in the tank where the whales are and get close to them, and they're fucking huge. I couldn't do it. I'd be too afraid it's gonna slap the window and then it's gonna the glass is gonna break and something.
Well, that's part of why I wouldn't go down there, but I wouldn't mainly go down there just because looking into the gloom and then seeing a 70-foot mosasaur swimming around and slowly creeping up to the window.
Glass, yeah.
I would shit my pants. That's scare the crap
and
out of me.
I will give credit to something, because like I haven't seen the movie The Meg, but I will give one big credit to the trailer. That shot of the megalodon and the little girl at the window, and then it chops. That did make me jump. That was actually good, and I will say it was probably better effect than Jurassic World.
When you're done with guesting on my review, you need to go watch my review of The Meg.
I'll think about it.
Oh no, you are doing it. So anyway, the mosasaur is awesome. Could he use a little bit more of it?
Yeah, it feels like, and that's one of the biggest complaints I have with Fallen Kingdom, is that it's only there for trailer shots.
Though the one scene that we do see it in actually did send a shiver up my spine. I'll talk about that when I get to Fallen Kingdom. No, though I did like that one. I'll talk about that when I get to Fallen Kingdom. But
yeah, my only other complaint with the dinosaurs is that no spitters. What the heck? Because they've been trying. Like, I don't know why. Like, we only see it in a hologram, but at the same time, it's like I wish the spitters were somehow shut up. And we like that's another big trouble. What happened to the spitters on the island? Because because there was. Yeah, I think in the original script they were supposed to have like wild spitters in the Forbidden Zone. Like, apparently that was one of the earliest story elements in the script, was that in the Forbidden Zone where the abandoned stuff was, there were still wild dinosaurs going around, like wild raptors and wild spitters.
Yeah, we miss our dilos, but whatever. The dinosaurs are still awesome in this movie.
Although, you know what would have been also a good Easter egg? If the boys, when they were going through the old abandoned area, if they found the old can of shaving cream. And then like, or maybe like somebody finds it. It's like, so this is where it all started. Now, that's a good irony.
So pro number 5 is that this movie actually has some good scares.
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly jump scares, admittedly, and there's a couple that I have that because I have phobias of the water. But there's some good jump scares in this movie. I did not expect when the Indominus Rex came busting into the garage at the abandoned Jurassic Park place.
Visitor Center.
The Visitor Center, yeah, thank you. So that jump scare got me. The jump scare of when the dude got chomped when the Indominus Rex tore the truck away, and he's like sitting there. Ooh. Chomp! That I didn't expect that to happen.
That was good. I thought the bit where the raptor busts into the car with Claire and it's on her lap. I'm like, that was good.
The one that scared me the most
got me was when Vincent D'Onofrio got his hand bitten off, and not only that, it reminded me a lot of Carnosaur. It reminded me like a bit out of Carnosaur when the raptor bites that girl's leg off. I think that was a nice little nod to Carnosaur.
But the one that scared me the most was when the two kids were in the garage and they're being stalked by the Endo. That sent shivers up my spine.
Yeah, that was good.
Because I liked how, well, okay, so we're just going to stop right there. This movie has good scares, and I will always commend a PG-13 rated movie for making me jump. So this will lead me into the pro number 6, the Indominus Rex.
It's a cool villain.
It is a awesome villain. Any fans of mine who watch my videos with Justin Tang will know that the Indominus Rex, I believe, is number 18 or 17. I know it's in the teens of my top 20 favorite giant movie monsters.
And I can agree with you on that. It's not an animal. It's not a
It's
dinosaur.
a monster.
It's a monster. It's a pure
It's
Frankenfuck of a monster.
Yeah, Frankenfuck.
That's probably a porno. That's probably a porno. Look, they call it fucking Stein. That's probably a thing. It's a Frankenfuck of a monster. It's a fucking Frankenstein of a monster. Holy shit. It's great. It's not only that. It's a beast, and I mean that in terms of like honestly, like the way. No, it's funny because the way it acts as a villain, is it me or does it behavior remind me of like someone like Megatron?
A little bit.
Like I feel like if you ever watch like you haven't watched it, I know this, Nick, but for anybody who has watched Beast Wars Transformers, would know that Megatron's Decepticon or Predacon form is a Tyrannosaurus.
And it's shitty animation.
Yeah, it's the shitty animation, but honestly,
and a shitty show.
If this was the Beast form of a live-action Megatron from Beast Wars, I'd be actually really cool with that. So it does act, like have the behavior of someone like Megatron, like even when it's like having like when it's calling to the raptors and everything, or when it's roaring at them. I imagine sometimes just saying, "Kill the humans! The humans must be destroyed." It's got that kind of feeling to it.
And I still do say that the Indominus Rex is one of my favorite giant movie monsters. I love its design. I like the light grayish skin color. I love how large its mouth is. That sounds a little strange, but it has a wicked set of jaws. I like the way its arms are. I like that this dinosaur is kind of a menagerie of various dinosaur designs. It has the look and shape of a T-Rex. It has the body size of a Giganotosaurus. It kind of has the jaw length, a little bit of the Spinosaurus, but also the Giganotosaurus. It can camouflage, which taken from chameleons. It can mask its heat signature, which is taken from Godzilla 1998, totally.
It's also the heat signature and the camouflage is actually taken from the novel Carnotaurs.
It has the arms and claws of a Therizinosaurus. It has
the only thing I would have wished they could have added is if it had a toe claw like a raptor.
Maybe.
It had a giant raptor toe claw.
Maybe. And it also has raptor DNA in it as well. So I really like the way that this monster looks. I love its roar, too. I just love everything about the Indominus Rex. And I will agree, yes.
Yeah, it's like how they added quills. They added, like, quills or kind of feather-like spikes on it.
I do agree that the Indominus Rex is superior to the Indoraptor.
Oh, that's goddamn lovely.
That's another thing, too. I like its personality. It's not just a mindless beast. It's smart.
It's intelligent.
It's very intelligent. And like Grady says, it's killing for sport. I like that.
And that's the thing, too. I don't think his primary target was the dinosaurs. I think, if anything, his primary target, if he had gotten the chance, was a fucking human. You know, like, I feel like its ultimate goal, because it was raised in captivity and probably treated bad, his whole mindset is, kill the humans, kill the humans, kill the humans!
Yeah, again,
like,
Megatron-esque.
It'd be constantly saying, kill all humans.
So overall, the Indominus Rex is an utter badass. And hands down is the best villainous dinosaur of the entire Jurassic Park franchise.
Also, is it me? Or does it, like, have the kind of characteristics and personality of, like, Cobra from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
Maybe.
Yeah. feels like, well, what do you expect from the same writers?
True. So let's see. Pro number 7 is that this movie also has some amazing action scenes. Once the Indominus Rex escape, there's just action scene after action scene after action scene after action scene. The Indominus Rex's initial rampage. When it escapes the aviary and releases all the pteranodons when the helicopter's trying to shoot her down, that explosion as the Indominus is running away, that gave me chills. It was so awesome.
It was good, but it reminded me a bit of a Michael Bay movie.
Fuck off. The Pteranodon attack on the visitor center, that was pretty damn good. That's damn good. And it was ended perfectly by the bitchy assistant getting lifted up into the air, and her ultimate fate is to be clamped down upon by the Mosasaur.
I'll admit, once she, like, when she falls into the water and we have that wide shot of her going in the water, I had a bit of chills. I was actually a little freaked out by that because that gave me flashbacks to Jaws, too. Like, it actually gave me that kind of, like, oh, shit, she's in the water. Get out of the water! Get out of the water right the fuck now! Yeah, that was great. Just that was fucking
the chase scene with Owen on his motorcycle when the Raptors and him are going out to find the Indo. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm always a big fan of running shots with badass music in the background. I don't know why. I've always loved that, which is why the Power Rangers running scene when the Megazords are finally unleashed is such a disappointment because it's 2 seconds long.
Yeah, I'll get to that at some point.
But anyway, and then
like, I want to say it brings up the bit where the kid's like looking through the monitors and goes to Claire and says, "Your boyfriend's a badass."
That's another thing too. This movie has a good sense of humor.
It's almost self-aware.
Almost. It barely gets close to being self-aware, but in a good way. So I guess you could say that's an unofficial 9th pro, is that this movie has a good sense of humor. It's also, I would probably say it's the funniest of the whole series.
It does. Well, I mean, especially after the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe has pretty much changed the way movies are done and portrayed in film. That when you write comedy, you have to be like a Marvel movie, essentially.
Which I'm actually okay with because I like the MCU's humor.
Yeah, like every film now is like you will have a bad disease. The doctor of Hollywood says, "I'm afraid your movie is suffering from Marvelitis."
Especially when you do it Thor Ragnarok style.
Yeah.
God damn, that movie's funny. Anyway, so, and the greatest action scene of all, the Rexy versus Indo fight. God.
That was so fucking good!
Damn, it was cool.
Okay, you should have been here at the theater screening because when that thing showed up, when the flares open, you're just like, oh shit, you know exactly what it is. Doors opening up. When you first see Rexy come out, the theater I was in was going nuts. They were like, woo! Yeah! Right? It was fucking amazing. And you see this, you're like, I was jacked up. And I say this in my review, but when they first square off, I actually shouted this in this theater and I said, beat the shit out of that Returnosaurus! And it was great. It was
I nearly shouted, Dino Combat! Dun 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 dun.
Fucking Primal Rage! It was Primal Rage! You know, I like fucking, and it's funny because like, I look at it now, and all I hear about it, okay, again, going back to Beast Wars, I know you hate that show. Can you admit the theme song is fucking awesome?
No.
Beast War, like that's what it was. It was a pure all-out Beast War. But it gave me, like, because I love, this is what people crave for in films. I love it when animals and monsters and creatures just go out and fight. They just beat the shit out of each other. That's what people crave. That's what this movie finally gave us, was just pure dinosaur combat.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And, like, I just want a whole movie of nothing but dinosaurs fighting. And even
maybe we'll get that with the finale.
That's the staple of all dinosaur movies. You can't do a dinosaur movie without dinosaurs fighting each other. You know, you got to get either a T-Rex, Triceratops, or Raptor on this and that, because that's the money-making shot. And they passed with flying colors.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. I've never been that jacked up in a theater.
And the last pro that I have, pro number 9 now, is this movie's special effects. For a movie,
it does lack animatronics.
I don't care.
CGI looks great.
For a movie that has a budget of $150 million, that $150 million was well spent. This movie does use a lot of CG.
Shots, I actually was fooled. I thought that was an animatronic, but it turned out it was CG.
This movie does have a lot of CG. In fact, I think it has the most CG of the whole series.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. I don't care because it looks so good. It's Avatar levels of good. Actually,
I'll admit,
it's equally as good as Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, there's only a few films that I felt had the Avatar touch to it. Like, Jurassic World was one of them, Star Wars was one of them, and you know what? Ready Player One had that Avatar amount of effects in it. I know you don't like Ready Player One or you don't want to see it, but honestly, the effects are on par with Avatar, in my opinion, with Ready Player One. But it's fucking great. Yeah, the effects are fantastic in this film.
The CG work is absolutely pitch perfect. The detailing is amazing. The use of shadows, all the bright lights. It's very colorful to look at.
This is also probably the first Jurassic film that had that was able to be very ambitious with its camera work. Very ambitious.
Oh yeah, great cinematography.
Yeah.
A lot of the blues really pop out in this movie, which I like, because blue is my favorite character.
It's a very bright film. Very bright and colorful.
The green screen work looks really good. The blue screen stuff is great. The composite shots are fantastic. The animatronics, what kind of little of them there are. I mean, there's a decent amount, but
one, and that was the Apatosaurus. But that was a nice able to take.
It was a perfect blend.
A CG body on top of it looked great.
Which is why I've had this conversation with my brother before when he and I watched John Carpenter's The Thing. I paused the movie for a minute and I asked him, so with today's technology, if you were to get into the movie making business and seeing this kind of special effects, if you were a visual effects artist, what would you do? CG or animatronics? And he looked at me and he just said, both. And I said, I would too. I'd be a hybrid style visual effects guy. I'm not going to be one of those. Hang on. Let me finish. I'm not going to be one of those closed-minded asshole purist, quote unquote, dudes who just says practical stuff or nothing, or one of those millennial douchebags who says CG or nothing. I myself do admit, yeah, I do like practical effects, but I'm not just going to knock CG because it's not real. I do like the use of having both. I like using practical effects and I like using CG. There have been movies that have been made that do use what I call as hybrid style effects, being mainly practical, but they use CG as a supplement. Take the Attack on Titan movies, for example. The Titans themselves, I mean, they're terrible movies, but the special effects are fairly solid. Specifically, the Titans, they're mainly guys in suits with CGI enhancements. Like the stuff
It is the same thing with Shin Gojira, where I think there were one or two shots that were practical, but although most of Godzilla was CG, I feel like there were one or two shots they did use of practical stuff.
I agree,
and
yes.
To the point I wanted to get to is that I agree with doing a combination. I mean, although myself, I like to use more practical and only use CG for the most impossible shot.
Exactly.
But at the same time, what I do like, too, is that when you have practical effects, especially on set, it makes the actors' response to the creatures more believable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, and that's why I think the Apatosaurus scene is so genuinely heartbreaking. Well, also because Universal has a habit of killing sauropods for some reason, and it gave me flashbacks to Land Before Time. I kept expecting the Apatosaurus to go, "Dear sweet Star-Lord, do you remember the great memory?" Right? But what was cool about having the animatronic there is that it actually made them look at the creature and like, that you could see the tears coming out of their eyes, like, wow, this is a real animal dying. Yep. And that's what I also think practical effects are great for, is that it gives something for the actors to interact with and actually make their performance more believable.
Mm-hmm. So overall, this movie has fantastic visual effects. I didn't see any flubs whatsoever. And none of the CG looks cartoony. None of the green screens look bad. None of the composites look bad. Overall, this movie has, I say this rarely, flawless special effects.
One shot that always sticks out to me that I love is the scene where the helicopter's chasing the Indominus Rex, and you have that kind of that mid. Turn my camera up, but you have that shot of the Indominus Rex running. The helicopter's right behind it. It turns around and goes, "Bah!" and it's running. That looked great. And even the shots of the Indominus Rex, like in the trees as they're trying to shoot it down, and you're looking overhead at it, that looked really good, because I felt like that's a real dinosaur running through the jungle, and that's the kind of stuff that I love in these movies.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this movie,
go through the brushes of the trees.
This movie has absolutely flawless special effects. And with all these good things that I have to say about Jurassic World, do I have any cons?
I have really one, and I've already explained it, and that's the lack of world building and the lack of explaining certain plot holes. That's really about it. Like explaining what happened to Sorna, where'd the pteranodons go, what happened to the like in between all that time. Like, I think a movie in of itself, like a prequel film that has the whole raid of the original island, that alone is worth a film. I find it's just like seeing a whole movie about the raid of the island to fix it all up.
No, I got nothing. I have no cons with Jurassic World. So let's wrap up our review. Guys, Jurassic World is a modern masterpiece. I've actually met some people who don't like this movie. And I look at them.
There's a few out there who don't like it.
And I look at them the same way that I look at. No, I'm not going to say that. I just look at them like they're. I just look at them like they're absolute idiots. How can you not like? Okay, it's fine if you say it's not your favorite, and it's fine if you say it's not as good as the original. A lot of people would say that. But if you're to legitimately call Jurassic World a bad movie, I just have to ask, what the hell do you think is good? Which is why
some artsy film from some fucking hipster.
Which is why I am awarding Jurassic World a perfect solid gold 10 out of 10. It is, in my opinion, equally as good as the original Jurassic Park. And now that I'm really thinking about it, I think I may like it a little more.
Okay, that's kind of stretching it.
Not by much.
I will say this gets a 10 out of 10 for sure. This gets a 10 out of 10 for me for sure. It is one of the best sequels. But honestly, the problem is nothing can touch or top the original, in my opinion. But
the only thing that I can think of that can surpass the original Jurassic Park is if they give the It 2017 treatment to the original novel, and Universal finally grows a pair of balls and makes an hard R-rated, full-fledged adaptation of the original Jurassic Park novel, beat for beat, word for word, shot for shot, and make it a
not shot for shot, because then you're getting into psycho territory.
Well, no, I'm saying shot for the book, you dumbass.
Okay.
Not a remake of the original movie. If you were to remake the movie, you'd be an idiot. but a full-fledged
Yeah.
It 2017
Speaking
style.
of shot remakes, have you seen the trailer for The Lion King?
No, don't care. Moving on.
It looks fucking gorgeous.
Don't care. Moving on. So
Okay.
if Universal was to give the It 2017 treatment and do a 4-hour-long 2-part adaptation of both of the original books, that could surpass the original Jurassic Park. But as it currently stands, I'm really thinking about it, and I really do think I might like Jurassic World a little bit more than the original. Not by much, but still, Jurassic World is a modern masterpiece. And to anybody out there who says that it's bad, what is wrong with you?
They're hipsters.
They're idiots.
They're hipsters, and that will come in later for Fallen Kingdom.
So, with all that being said, post your motherfucking comments down below and let me know what you think. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Share this video with your friends. Jackie boy, do you have anything to pimp out? Yes. Do you have anything to pimp out?
Yeah, I've got a new show airing probably today or later on, because right now it's 1:30 in the morning, but I'll probably pump it out like right after. I've got a trailer coming Friday for my review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which will be on my channel soon. I'm currently editing the review now. It is almost complete. I have a few more things to put in.
I cameo in it.
What?
I cameo in it.
Yeah, you can expect that for around, I'd say around Christmas time. But it is going to be a very good review. I'm just like, I want to take my time. I want to make it look good. But it's going to be a review that's been a long time coming. And technically, it'll be my third time reviewing this damn movie. Because honestly, what Nick has to say and what I have to say, we're kind of on par.
Well, there's one difference. I actually do enjoy the movie. You don't.
But we do agree it is one of the weaker sequels.
We'll save that for next time. So, and as always, go out and if you're going to create a genetically modified dinosaur, make an herbivore. Won't bite you in the ass. It won't bite you in the ass. In this case, literally. And I will see you guys in the next review.